We have been on the expedition for more than a week. Now our lives are divided to before and after. The initial charm of the road has gone, the eyes getting used to everything around us and now have the habit of long journeys and the eternal desire to sleep. But our locations still make us admire and wonder. Is that possible? The host, Aziza Aybadulina, has jumped into a deep end of traveling. With the expedition Sacred Kazakhstan, Aziza checked out the route for future horseback riding trips. In the last episode, we have visited the valley of the Zhenishke River, the Amanjol Pass and the Chilik River. And in this one, we will go to the most beautiful places of Almaty region, which is Kolsay and Kaiyndy. Our journey continues. So wish me good luck. You wish me good luck too. What could be nicer than the morning? Only morning in Kolsai. 3 unique lakes are located on the territory of Raimbek district of Almaty region of Kazakhstan and 10 kilometers north of the border with Kyrgyzstan. We are at the first lake. Getting to Kolsai lakes from Almaty is quite simple. You go to the Kolzhinskaya route and drive about 220 kilometers. Then you go through the Kokpak Pass, then the Toray-Gir Plateau, and after the next pass you will see a pointer to the villages of Zhalanash, Santi and Kolsai lakes. The road will go to the right, move along it and you will reach your destination. 727 tenge. This is the entrance fee of the amazing place of the northern Tian Shan, the Kolsai Lakes National Park. The price includes visiting the park as well as using paths. The territory is developed. I think that this is an adequate price for such beautiful views. How did Kazakh Switzerland appear? The lakes were formed due to landslides descending to the bottom of the gorge when a fast-moving mountain river has stopped at dams that suddenly appeared on its way. The first or lower lake is located at the altitude of 1,818 meters above sea level. Its length is 1 kilometer, width 400 meters, depth reaches 80 meters. Nature has even created the security system. High Tian Shan fir trees surround the lake with a dense ring. The water in the lake surprised a lot. It is absolutely transparent and reflects the sky and it seems blue. Although sometimes it changes color to dark blue, sometimes even emerald. It depends not only on the location of the sun but also on the melting of the glaciers. At the confluence of the tributaries, the water in the lake is more cloudy and dark. But at a certain distance, closer to the center, the water is transparent that the light miraculously transforms its color and everything happens so easily, just like Instagram filter. The sun shines at a certain angle. The sky begins to take on some color. This color is reflected in the water and therefore the water takes on different shades. Here, if you want the view, the rule is easy. Get up earlier, move on. In the morning the sun comes out and you get 10 to 15 minutes of perfect beauty. Then it all goes away. Those people who have never been there and never saw it with their own eyes, when they look at photos, they say photographer used Photoshop. There is a road to the first lake and you can even get here by car. If you decide to spend a weekend at Kolsai Lakes, you can spend the night in guest houses at the first lake. Spending the night in tents is of course a lot of fun, but not for long. And so we decided to find out from the owners of local guest houses which are getting more popular the price for one night. What is included and what kind of rooms they have. Let's go. As for housing in Kolsai, there are 4 possible options. Guest houses in the village of Santi with 2 meals a day from the house, a hotel on the beach with comfortable rooms, and guest cottages, yurts, if conveniences are not the most important thing for you, and the cheapest option is tents. By the way, near the second and third lakes you will not have such a wide choice. bonfire, tent and sleeping bag. Only they will warm you on a cool Kolsai night. Aziza chose the best option regarding its price and convenience for guests. So let's go. I'll show you what they have here. For example, you can stay in this room. This is a hostel which is just fine for a group of friends. Well, if you're a young couple who loves comfort and wants to be alone, then there is a junior suite with its own bathroom. Here you can find a room for every taste with the prices starting from 8,000 tenge. So if you prefer a comfortable stay and are already tired of tents, you're welcome here. I am definitely staying here. Tourism is the main source of income for the residents of the village of Sati, so tourists are welcomed here as honored guests. In addition to accommodation in a guest house, the tourists receive tasty home-cooked food and cozy stories about Kolsai while drinking tea from samovar. Now, since the number of tourists has increased here for the last 3-4 years, business in Sati has begun to develop as well. Local residents saw that tourists were coming, they started providing housing. They now have electricity, internet access. People provide services. You can come to Sati to ride a horse there, or take a car and go to Kaiyndy, Kolsai lakes. That is, people saw the opportunities and are working in this direction. While Aziza was relaxing in the hotel, we decided to see the local flora and fauna. The lakes are surrounded by firs and alpine meadows. There are several plants listed in the Red Book: Kungay feather grass, golden adonis, Cossack juniper, Shrinker spruce and edelweiss. And the place has a lot of mushrooms and berries. When it comes to animals, there are leopards, lynxes and argali. They say that even bears live here. But we haven't seen any of them yet. But we met a lot of tourists. Some were fishing and riding a boat, some picked berries, and some were riding horses. What united all these people? All of them were amazed by this corner of the virgin nature of the northern Tian Shan. And we were as well. The large and unusually beautiful second lake resembling a heart shape is located at the altitude of 2,552 meters above sea level. It is bigger than the previous one, about 1,200 by 600 meters. To get to a lake called Kolsai 2, you need to climb a narrow path up from the first lake. On the way we met a lot of foreign tourists, which is great. It's a pity we have met much fewer local tourists. But I think it will get better in time. I decided to go up with the help of my faithful friend, well, because I'm not a sports girl, and it seems like he likes to strain. Well, I like to believe it. Aziza is lucky. She got a horse absolutely for free, and she will get to the second lake without shortness of breath. Travelers to whom it is difficult to endure mountain climbs can rent a horse for 5,000 to 7,000 tenge. But if you go up on foot, the road to Kolsai 2 takes about 3.5 hours one way, so we advise to allocate a whole day for a round trip. We need to prepare for the fact that the nearly 10-kilometer path is diverse in relief and cross-country. In places, it is quite wide and dry, sometimes strewn with soft needles of Tian Shan firs. There are steep climbs and descents on the rocky scree. In some places, there will be a mix of the ground with sharp, slippery stones. During the expedition, we realized that equestrian tourism is not only convenient, but also very exciting. Take the guide and go. Even our driver would like to switch from his SUV to a horse. Unlike car tourism, people riding a horse can become part of the nature, feel the aromas of herbs when passing sections of high mountains. The huge potential of Kazakhstan in the future gives the opportunity to develop industry of equestrian tourism, so the best time is yet to come.
Дает возможность в будущем развивать эту отрасль конного туризма. Поэтому у нас все впереди.
The question, what should I bring to the lake, is one of the most popular ones on tourist sites. Warm clothes are always needed, because on the lake, frosts are possible even in summer. And do not forget raincoats. Precipitation is an often thing here. And also, if you go to Kolsai in the spring or in June, take something to protect you from ticks. By the way, do not forget that in the mountains the weather can change very quickly. If you look there, it looks very sunny there, but here it starts to rain. Do not forget the warm clothes. Now we are going to seek shelter. And most importantly, bring your smartphone or camera to keep a memory of these places. Well, if you are a travel blogger, make a video with a drone. Aziza and the team were looking for the ideal location for the video for a long time. Nevertheless, we found an exemplary log to please the subscribers of Aziza and you, dear viewers. Repeat the video, post it on social media using the hashtag across Central Asia, and maybe you will get cool prizes. And now we look how it turned out and enjoy. People call Kolsai 2 Minjilgi, which means millennium. True, no one knows the exact age of the lake. There is a legend that Kolsai lakes were created in prehistoric times by the great Tengri for the goddess Umay. Umay was haunted by the thought of true beauty. She was looking for it everywhere. Then Tengri created Kolsai lakes and led Umay to one of them, asking her to look there. When she looked into the clear waters of the lake, in the reflection, she saw her eyes and the whole universe in them. And then Umay understood what beauty was. No wonder the second name of Kolsai 2 is Mirror of Umay. If you are an avid traveler and took documents with you, then go on a walking tour. From here, from the second lake, every year groups of daredevils go and float to Issyk-Kul. Going to Issyk-Kul is considered one of the most popular trekking destinations. Compared to its brothers, Kolsai 3 is the smallest and coldest lake. It is located 4 kilometers above the second lake at the altitude of 2,650 meters above sea level, almost on the border with Kazakhstan, only 6 kilometers away. We didn't get to the upper Kolsai, it is forbidden, but our drone does not care about the distance or the proximity of the border with Kyrgyzstan. The third lake is surrounded by rocky shores overgrown with dense thickets of juniper. This lake ends a magnificent ensemble created by nature itself. Not everyone can go to this lake, and therefore it is the cleanest and most untouched. The program of all travelers who have visited Kolsai is completed by a trip to Kaiyndy. It's only 15 kilometers from the first Kolsai to the lake with trees along the Kaiyndy river. But you have to go off-road, so you will be needing jeeps or horses. We have both. This is our last horse ride. I will miss these dearest creatures very much. You won't get used to any car like a horse. Now we stopped at the river Kaiyndy. Little later we will see the place which I wanted to visit so much. This is Lake Kaiyndy. To get to Kaiyndy Lake, our SUVs had to cross the Kaiyndy River. It is shallow, it's safe, the sight is fascinating, and the drivers had fun.
Поехали туда ночью, заблудились, попали в эту речку. У нас не джип был, в принципе, кроссовер.
We went there at night, got lost, got into this river. We did not have an SUV. We had an CUV. We got stuck in this river, did not know how to get out. There is no navigation. And so it was like in a horror movie. The main thing there was no mobile communication. We eventually scattered and started looking for someone. We left this river, spent the night there in a tent. It was such a starry sky, I still remember it. It was incredible. In the morning we woke up and went to Kaiyndy Lake. It was awesome.
Это реально было классно.
5 kilometers from Kaiyndy there is a large birch grove. It gave the name to the lake. The road runs along this birch forest. The Kaiyndy River passes on its left side. Behind the grove there is a glade with the yurts for tourists. Usually travelers leave their cars near yurts and then go on foot to the lake. 15 minutes and you have a stunning view of the final point of our equestrian expedition, Lake Kaiyndy. The lake is located in the Inter-Mountain Basin at the altitude of 1800 meters above sea level. Caution, the descent is very steep. The dense spruce forest does not allow to look at most of the lake from above from the north, but you can clearly see what is located behind the lake, in the east and south. Particularly amazing is the landscape south of the lake. Powerful rocky peaks form a kind of natural getaway to an unknown mountain world. I read the history of the formation of this lake, and that's what I can tell you. In order for us to look at this beauty now, this place had to survive 3 whole disasters. The first occurred in 1911. There was an earthquake, after which the lake was formed. Further, in 1980, there was the second impulse, after which the lake significantly lost in its depth. And in 2010, there was a mudflow, after which the depth of the lake is now 17 to 18 meters. In general, beauty requires sacrifice. In the beginning of the 20th century, due to the Kimin earthquake, there was a mountain collapse, which blocked the river and the valley was filled with water. The fact that there was land is reminded by the trunks of fir trees sticking out of the water. There are no branches above, but they have survived underwater. By the way, their conservation is promoted by low temperature and unique composition of water. The lake survived the next 2 tragedies steadily. Only grey marks remained on the trunks of fir trees, showing a decrease in water level. There are travelers for whom it has become a tradition to return to the lake. People say that lake lovers came here in 2011 to celebrate 100 years of the formation of Kaiyndy and even arranged a jubilee diving. In general, not everyone dares to dive and look at the drowned spruce. The temperature in the lake does not rise above 6 degrees Celsius. The pioneers in the underwater kingdom of Kaiyndy were a group of Vasily Kalashnikov, which dived in 2004. Now the lake is included in the ranking of the 25 best freshwater ponds for scuba diving. So, if you have a diver certificate and appropriate equipment, you should definitely dive. And if not, just enjoy the underwater shooting on the screen of your gadget. Aziza has decided to check the temperature in Kaiyndy by herself. Let's see how this experiment ends. I heard a lot about the fact that it is super cold, but I need to check everything myself. So wish me good luck. You wish me good luck too. I'm a man. Ah, my internal thermometer says it's very cold. Now it's about 6 degrees. I do not like 6 degrees. In general, you'd better use a wetsuit. Do not go into the water without a wetsuit. But there are swimmers who do not care. What a beauty! On our way here, I was told that this place is called a dead lake. It was a little creepy. But the only thing I feel here is this peace. It seems that I have never heard such silence anywhere. Taxi! 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 To see a taxi driver near Kaiyndy is almost impossible. Most often, here you can meet completely different representatives of the local fauna. Aziza was fortunate enough to meet a butterfly. Oh, a butterfly sits on you. Look, it is on you. So I'm such a good person that even a butterfly sits on me. Perfect. The water in Kaiyndy regularly changes color and often it is blue. This strange color is caused by lime and other minerals that were in the lake 100 years ago. Aziza prepared for this phenomenon and brought a dress to match the water. The photo turned out to be magical. Repeat the photo of our host, post it in the social media with the hashtag across Central Asia and get a chance to win cool prizes. If you throw a stone into Kaiyndy, a real dust storm will rise. Therefore, to see the beauty of this sunken forest, divers try not to touch the branches of fir with silt hanging on them. There are fears that the next element may turn the lake into a muddy puddle. In order to avoid this and save the lake for future generations, it is necessary to strengthen the dam, and it is not cheap. We hope that disasters will bypass the lake.
В принципе, Kolsai и Kaiyndy, они вот хороший пример.
Kolsay and Kaiyndy are a good example of how sustainable tourism should develop. Undoubtedly, in the national park, it is necessary to mark the trails. It is necessary to digitize them, explore the area on horses. But at the moment, it seems to me that the national park is pretty well developed.
В данный момент, мне кажется, в нацпарке довольно хорошо это все развито.
Our equestrian expedition came to an end, which left only positive impressions. Many have gained new experiences that they would never have gained in urban life.
Хотелось бы поблагодарить всех участников данной экспедиции.
I would like to thank all the participants of this expedition, drivers, horse breeders, directly those who took part in organizing this tour, while the guys who first mounted a horse, showed themselves to be tourism professionals, immediately joined this process, found a common ground with horses and enjoyed traveling.
В этот процесс нашли общий язык с лошадьми, получали удовольствие от поездок.
We passed the route of the horse expedition in Almaty region. Now we know all the pros and cons and can share this information so that tour operators can subsequently adjust and improve the route for the tourists. Our country has great potential for tourism in general and for equestrian tourism in particular. This is like a new industry. I think it can very well be profitable and interesting, both for our local tourists and for foreign guests. We have passed almost 900 kilometers in the best destinations in Almaty region. In this episode, our team visited the highlight of the Tian Shan, Kolsai lakes. And Aziza fulfilled her old dream and visited the mystical Kaiyndy lake. We climbed high and dived deep to show you the amazing landscapes of this region. It was a worthy end to the horse tour, but now we are going to visit the ancient trading artery, the Great Silk Road. It will be so cool, you can't miss it. Stay tuned.